Hello everyone, it's Kathy Schmitt, the Backyard Stamper. Today I will be finishing my scrapbook layouts from our family vacation in Provincetown, Massachusetts a couple weeks ago. So if you are new to my channel, you can sign up for my newsletter here using this QR code or go to backyardstamper.com. And then if you have any questions about anything, please email me, Kathy at backyardstamper.com. And if you like the products that I'm using today, you can shop them at my Stampin' Up store, kathyschmitt.stampinup.net. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Loudon, New Hampshire. And I have been having a blast scrapbooking my templates, scrapbooking my photos and reliving my memories. So it's been fun to get back into scrapbooking. So let's recap and see what I have done on the previous 2 episodes. So I have this layout here, which has my torn crumb cake cardstock with some sponging in pecan pie and some little dots and spatters. I've got these clusters of shells and fishnet, and I have my title, which I typed out on in Word and printed on my white cardstock, and then I cut it out. So this is a beautiful sunrise there, and that's what it's always like. It's a slice of heaven. So then my layout, this was layout number 1. And layout number 2, sorry, I'm just reaching back for something that I will need, is this P-Town 2026. Now on this title, I printed all my titles, and then I used my scan and cut to cut around the bubble letters and then increased the outline distance and did the layering piece. So that made it really easy. And you can see I used the Waterside Retreat Designer Series paper, which really does the work for you. It's got the buoys, and I just fussy cut them. It's got the planks, and this, the pylon was just some of this plank paper cut at varying lengths. I rounded the corners and sponged it to give it that pylon look. And then I did all my pictures, some of them at 4x4. This is a 3x3, and then the 4x6 layouts. And this here was from Scenic Coast. It's a little lighthouse, and if you see, well, maybe you can't see it. It's over there. There's a lighthouse, and there's another lighthouse here all the way on the point. So I love the way this page came out. And these little doodads here are little trinkets that come, you can buy them separately, or they come with the Waterside Retreat collection suite, which has a stamp set and designer series paper and the doodads. Okay, so let's see what I'm going to work on today. So today I wanted to, let me just turn that. My paper curled up a little bit. Maybe it got bent, so I'm going to put my stripe there. So here are my 2-page layouts, and I'm just going to, I was thinking of doing this stripe there, and I'm not quite as organized as I was last week. I'm going to just admit it right there. So I have my beautiful family photo. We stay at the masthead, and they have this old, really old ship bell, and this is where we take our family photos every time. And I've got my little family photo strip there, and I just need to mount that on a piece of white. This I printed with my Canon printer. And see, I'm going to go ahead and mount that just like so. I think that will look good. So let me just set that aside. Now on this page, I've got a variety of photos. This was a sunset, and you can see the sunset was behind me, but it was casting the colors across the water, and you can see it in that sailboat there. It was really pretty. And then, so at the masthead, there's this decking, and so there's this big deck, there's the ship bell, and then it comes across like this, and you have lounge chairs and umbrellas all the way across. So this is my view. I can turn to the right and look at this part, or turn to the left and look at all the sailboats and the other deck. So we go kayaking way out. It's so fun. The tide comes in and out, so you always you can either walk out on the flats when the tide's out, or when the tide's in, go kayaking. So I've got a couple of pictures that I wanted to put, and I'm gonna see what I want to cut down. Let's see here. I've got this one and this one and this one. This one I took from here, so I'm not sure that I like that photo, but it does have all of them. So if I kind of do that, if I move it over, I can put a little doodad, because that's Amy's arm right there. And then I think I'm going to cut this one down. So I have 2 4x4s, and then here's a picture of me and Christy, and I look like I'm crying because the sun was in my eyes so bad. So I'm not going to use that one because it really is a weird looking picture. Okay, let me get my little trimmer out and see what I can cut down. I think I'm going to have to cut this one down a little bit too. All right, so if we cut it, let me get my big trimmer here. So I want to see, oops. Sorry. All right, let's see what we're going to do. I'm going to move my big photo out of the way because I know I'm going to do that one just like that. So if we cut this at 5, or what would 4 look like? And I could go backwards and do it like that. Something like that. I kind of like that. All right, so we've got that. So if I turn this into a 4x4, then I have it like that. Okay, so there's a 4x4. See, I can fit more pictures on my page if I use 4x4. And let me just trim this a smidge because I do want that big picture. But I want to be able to do a 4x6. What did I just take off? I want to be able to do a 4x6 mount. And let's see here. I kind of cut that a little bit. Well, let's see. I don't want to cut that pretty sky off, so I'm just going to do that. Let's see what this looks like over here to see if they fit, and they do. Okay, so that's good. So I might just do one, maybe I'll stagger them a little bit like that. Okay, let me arrange and see if I can fit the photos that I'd like to use. I love this one of me and Amy. Okay, and then I've got David and Christy. So if I do something like that, whoops, that's cutting. This one's going to have to get cut down to, let's see here. If I cut there, that would be 5. I'm going to cut off a little bit of our hands. That's okay. Oh, that looks good. Okay, so I like that. This one, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to use that or not. I could if I take Poppy out. Let's see. Sorry, Poppy. Let's see here. If I do that. Sorry, Poppy. So that is a 3 and I'm counting the eighths. 1, 2, 3 eighths. So if I do 3 and 3 eighths on this side, there, I got a little square. But I could cut that and just not even have a square on that one. Let's see. Keep that one rectangle so it looks normal. Okay. So even though that's a little bit blurry, I'm going to use that photo. And then I've got this. And then I have this one. So let's see here. How are we going to do this? This can go on top. That can go like that. This one can go right here. This one can scooch back up. I think I'm going to have to trim off a little bit of this one. I'm going to trim a little bit of the sky off. So it makes it a little bit of an odd shape, but that's okay. Because let's see here. I'm trying to fit in this. Let me see here. If I cut off just a smidge of the water, 3 3/4, and then cut a 1/4 inch off of this side. I won't lose any of the pretty coloring, but it's just enough that when I do my photo mounts, it will work perfectly. Okay, so I have that. And this, I'm cramming on my photos, guys, because that's what I like to do. And then where'd the other one go? The other one went down here. So let's see if we can move this guy up and put this one here at the bottom. I love it. So you'll have to let me know what you think about this, because I think it captures, these are all my kids, and this is Heidi with her husband Chris, this is my daughter Amy, this is my son David and his girlfriend Christy. So I think I'm happy with that. So now I just have to work on mounting them. So I crammed in a lot of and I can leave a little bit down here, and I can add this little piece for interest. I've got some doodads already cut, so I have this little piece. That's fun. Ooh, I could put that on that side. Let's see. I really like this piece, so I got to try to find a place I can put that. All right, let's see here. If we move these up, I might have to cut this one down a little bit. Let's do that. So I didn't need to cut much, just enough so that I can squeeze this one here on the bottom. I love it. Love it, love it. Okay, and then this, let me cut this one down a smidge too. So my other pages, I've had all the pictures the same the same size. So I'm deviating here, but that's okay. Now that fits a lot better. So these two are just relatively the same size. Let me see what this one is. 3 3/8. So let me make this one 3 3/8. So those two can be the same height. That works good. Yeah, that ties together. And then this one's here. This one is there. Let's see if I can cut this a little bit smaller. Just enough to push this one up and have this less There. Okay. If I put that, then I can do this. Ooh, there we go. And I don't even want that curved, right? I could do it like that, and then my journaling piece. So that kind of crowds it, but I'm good with that. And then let's see what else I have in my doodad box. Oh, I have a chair. That wouldn't be bad. Let's see here. I have a sailboat. That would be fun. Okay, and then I have some odd pieces of the striped paper, which I really liked that. So if I slide some under, see if we add like that for adding color. I've got a couple of little doodads here. Here's another chair that's a little bit lighter color. Oh, I have this one. That's fun. There we go. We're looking out at the deck. I've got an anchor. I've got my circles here. Oh, that looks good, doesn't it? I like it. I like it. Okay, so let me see what else I got in my little doodad. I got a life jacket. I got another stripe, and I have a little ticket shape. So on some of my kits that I've bought, they have come pre-stamped with their greetings. So this is in another language, so keep those. Don't throw those out, because all you have to do is turn it over, and you've got a little place for journaling. I think I'll get rid of this one. That one doesn't really go. And maybe I'll get rid of this piece too. And then I can put that like that, but then I could put this back. I could put that right there to kind of tie in. Let's see here. I might not have any title on this page. I might just keep it all photos, and that's okay. So if I do that, I like that. This one here. Let's see here. And then I've got these other doodads I can cut out. And I've got a couple of shells. I've got a couple pieces of grass. Okay, so let's move my trimmer out of the way. Actually, let me trim this piece down so that I can put my big photo on. So my photo was 8 by 10, right? 8.5 by 11. So if I cut down an inch, and then I can make an 8 by 10. I think I'd like that better. So let me open up my arm on my trimmer. Didn't my printer did a beautiful job with these colors. So you have to use, I figured out from doing some research that you have to, let me move that over so I don't cut too much into Poppy. You have to use the app, the Canon app, and then it works perfectly for printing. When I was just trying to use my printer settings, like in printing it like I would a document, it did not work. So this is going to be 10. What did I want? 8 by 10, right? That might not work. But let's see here. There's 10.25. And I can still cut a little bit off on this side. Let's see if I can get all the way down to 10. I'm getting there, really close. Let's see if I can get this last smidge off. Yes. Okay, so there's my photo, 8 by 10. And that means I am going to, I think I'm going to double mount this, actually. So I'm going to cut this at 8, 10, and 5/8. Let's do that for a minute. 10 and 5/8. So I did, and then I need 8 and 5/8. Let's see what that looks like. And then I want to pick another color blue. 8 and 5/8 is over here. Okay, so if I do that, and then I've got room to double mount it, that will look sensational. And I've got the crumb cake, which will tie in with my other pages. So if I do that, not crazy about that. Let's see what else I've got. I could do the Misty Moonlight that's in this paper, or Lost Lagoon. Let me see what looks better. Lost Lagoon is on the stripe, so that would make sense. The stripe paper has Lost Lagoon, so I could do that. Not crazy about it still, but what's this? The lighter side. Not crazy. Let's see if I switch and do the white with the Lost Lagoon. So the white is against my photo. Now we've got something pretty good. And then it will look good on that stripe. And then let me just check Misty Moonlight really quickly. You know what? I'm not going to be able to use Misty Moonlight because I don't have a piece big enough. Okay, so Lost Lagoon it is, and white. So let me cut this one down. This is going to be whatever I cut this one at. 10 and 5/8, I believe, right? Yep. Let's get that. 10 and 5/8 by 8 and 5/8. Okay. And then let me cut my white another little bit. So I want to have 8 and 5/8. Now, do I want a little bigger white, or do I want a little bigger Lost Lagoon? So this would go like that. Or I can bring the white closer to the Lost Lagoon and bring this out a little bit. Nope, I think I'm going to leave it with the bigger Lost Lagoon. So now I just want to have, this is going to be 8 1/4. Oops, 8 1/4. Let me cut on the same side I've been cutting on. That helps get. So I had 8 and 5/8. Let's do, yeah, 8 and 3/8. That's what I want. 8 and 3/8 by 10 and 3/8. And that gives me slightly more than 1/4 inch. All right, that's going to be good. Let me set my trimmer down so it doesn't clatter to the floor. Okay, so I've got like that and like this. Oh, I like that. And then against this part, that looks pretty darn nice, huh? Okay, so we can do that. And I've got my family time. And what I could do is push this up a little bit and move my chair over here. Because this is what we did the whole time, is we just hung out, read books, sat on the deck. Ooh, I like that. That looks good with the chair there. I could even do family time down at the bottom and push that up and do it like that. I kind of want it at the top. I'm like, you know, the title of a book is never at the bottom of the book, right? It's at the top. So let's see here. If I do something like this. Nope, I am going to do what I had it first and put my chair at the bottom, because that's where it makes sense. All right, so I've got that. And then I've got this over here, and I have this little doodad. I'm going to put my light jacket up there. Let me get these cut pieces out of the way. And I really like this little banner piece, but I think I'm going to cut it a smidgen smaller. So if I do, this is 2 and almost 2 3/4. So if I cut it down 1/8 on each side, so 1/8 on each side, okay, and then cut a little bit off the top. There we go. And I cut this using our party banners. So, oh, I like that better. Now it's fitting in there without like ending in a weird place. So I do like this. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. It's hard when you have a lot of photos to try to add doodads, but I do want to add some doodads. Do I want to have this like that? That looks kind of funny. How about if it's up here, though? Ooh, I like that. Let's bring it down, the photo down a little bit. My chair is there. My photo's here. My photo doesn't have to be centered in the page, so I can have it just a little bit off and then have this. Oh, I like that. Okay, so that helps me get rid of that doodad, and then I've got room for this doodad. And let's see here. Let me try one more time. If I switch this picture and move these down here and move that there, then I can have this. There was a stamp set, I forget what it was called, and that came from that, and I colored it, and it looks really nice. Okay, and then I'll move this in so that my photos don't line up like exactly here, because that's good. Okay, and then I have a little journaling box, and my journaling piece, I had this little ticket piece that I can do. Okay, so I am going to, that's funny because it's all right. So I've got this, and I'm going to slide my ticket under. But what I don't like is that is supposed to be like the title area. So if I do that, I'm going to cut this. Let's see what that looks like. If I cut that. Okay, so I have that. And then I want the rope on both sides. So let me see if I can piece that. Oh yeah, that's totally fine. Okay, so let me add a little bit of glue. I didn't cut that straight though. Let me see if I can straighten that a little bit without cutting my finger. So if I have it like that, perfect. I took the guard off of my trimmer because it just makes it getting those little pieces a little bit easier. All right, that's what I want. All right, so let me attach this little piece here, and I'm going to add a little bit of glue, and then I'll set it aside. So that it can glue. Okay, like that. And I have overage on my glue, so I'm going to let that dry upside down right here. Okay, so that glue doesn't get all over the place. Now I have to decide if I want to mount these on something, and I kind of think I do. So let me get out my white again, and let's see how that will look. But I would keep it really skinny like that. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this. So let me get my trimmer going. And that is, let's see here, I'm going to cut it right here so I can see what I'm doing. So if I have 3 1/8, I'm going to do 3 1/4. Whoops, I need to know how far it is this way. This is 3 3/8, so I'm going to do 3 1/2. Let me put the top on my glue. Danger. This has been really, really fun to do this scrapbooking. And honestly, I don't usually scrap right after my vacation. This vacation was only 3 weeks ago. So that's pretty good. But now that I figured out how to print on my printer, that is going to make everything. It's a whole new world now. Okay, so I've got my photos, and I used Epson premium glossy paper to do my printing with. Okay, let me okay, good. So I got that one on. Let's do another one. I need a bigger piece of white. Oops. Let me see if I have any more white scraps here. So I keep all my scraps in a, oh, that one looks good, before we cut up a whole new piece again. Yep, that looks good. Let me just trim a smidge. And another smidge. Did I get it close? What is this one? Okay, I need to go down another 1/8. Like so. I only want an 1/8. I'm trimming an 1/8 of an inch of a border so that I have just a smidge of white showing, which will help break up this Night of Navy. I think that will do a good job with that. And I might not even, I might switch this piece. Well, it looks good with all the blues and the jeans and everything. So for now, we're going to leave it. Hi there, Debbie. Thank you so much for jumping on. So I have those two. There's another one. Here's one. Okay, and then I got to do this one. Let's see what I got for scraps for bigger pieces. Oh, I got a nice big one. And I've got, let's see, here's another nice size one. All right, so let's see what I can get with this. Let's see. Oh, just a smidge too small. Let's see. I am going to just nick a little bit of this one off. What does this one measure? Measures. Yeah. Let me just nick a little bit off of that. Okay. And then this piece is 4 1/4, so I'm going to have it be 4 1/8, and I'm going to cut from this side because this side's got a little bent corner. Okay, so I got that with that. This is my last layout, Deb, for my vacation with the family, and I am so thrilled that I scrapped like right away. Okay, I don't think any of these are going to fit, so I'm going to go ahead and cut my bigger piece. And let me get my trimmer, my big trimmer here. I have got stuff all over the place here. All right, I just don't want to set my trimmer all over my photos, because with the glossy paper, you got to be careful. And I was never a glossy paper person, so. All right, these are all going to be, this is going to be 4 1/8. And then this one's going to be just a nick shorter than 5, like that. Yep. So as I'm going to just put them on the white as I go to make sure I match up my photo mounts with the correct photos. Okay, and then this one is 5 1/2. No, 5. What did I say? Yeah, 5 1/2. So I'm just going to go 5 5/8. Perfect. Tell me if you use, do you like matte, semi-gloss, or glossy photos? I have always been a matte person, but I was following the recommendation of Erin Jacobson, who is a very heavy-duty scrapbooker, if you will. And she always uses glossy. So I said, well, I'll give it a try and see if I like it. And I do like how my printer looks with the glossy paper. And let's see, if this one goes this way, I will save a bigger piece of my paper. So let's see here. This is 3 3/4, so I just need a 3 7/8 piece. So see, by turning my paper, I saved this whole piece. So think about your paper saving methods too when you're doing this. Okay. Let's see if I cut that right. Yep, I did. All right, so let's see. Okay. Oh, that's so pretty. I probably should have brought in some of the pink of the sunset, but it's okay because against the dark blue, you really can see it. So I'm okay with that. All right, so I've got those, and let me move this out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and add my tape to this one. Debbie, doesn't this picture look nice the way it printed on my machine, on my printer? This one here. So pretty. Okay, now this one I have a little bit bigger of a border, which I liked that. Okay, straight. And I could have used flip-flops to help put all my big photos in, but, you know, I just wanted to be able to see my photos all at a glance on this one. And I'm going to pop up my family time. So let me attach. Now, do you like the stripe going that way? I could put it in the middle too. Let me see how I did my other pages. I don't want to. So I have a stripe going across the bottom, and then I have some vertical stripes. So yeah, let's do that. Let's put some in the middle here. And then let's see if this will match up. Oh, yes, because I want my pages to match. I mean, you know, have it be a continuous thing. So it goes along like that. Now, if I do it like that, oh, I like that. This side does hardly even shows then. So I could put it at the bottom where it will show and put this one at the bottom. Okay, and then have this like that and that, and put this here. I don't really like that at the bottom. Let's see, but the other piece, the other one I did didn't have this, the stripe in the center. So let's see if we are going to continue this one. I think I'm going to leave it the way it was. You know, sometimes it's like, go with your gut. So it shows a little more of the stripe there. My family time comes on. I love that. I've got my little flag pennant. This can come down a little. This is going to go like so. I like overlapping that a little bit. And then where'd my chair go? My chair is right here. Oh, I love it. Okay, so let's attach my stripe first. And I have learned use a little bit of tape because the page is going to be within a sleeve, so you don't have to worry about you know, things falling off your page. It's going to have that protection, but if you change your mind and need to move something, designer paper is not as forgiving about moving as regular cardstock, and actually neither is the two-tone. So I think you will be happier if you use just a little bit of tape. Okay, so my dog went there. And I'm not gonna press it down right now. I'm just setting it down so I can decide this. I like that kind of on the tilt. And then my family time right there. And I can push this up a little bit, and I can add like a bow. All right, so let me go ahead and push this one down since it's on the paper. I got that straight. I'm going to dimensional this one. Let me see. I've got some of my dimensional strips here. So like so. That way it's a longer dimensional, which makes it a little easier to peel off some things. Let's see here. Where's my scissors? Oh dear, sorry. Oh wow, my whole trimmer fell apart on that one, guys. Hold on. My keyboard fell on the ground. Yikes. That is a true craftalanche. All right, let me just picking it up so I don't roll over it with my chair. Oh my gosh, how embarrassing. All right, see, my whole trimmer arm fell off. It's not broken though. All right, let me just put this in a little bit safer place than I had it. Okay. Whew. And I'm going to cut this one. Sorry about that, you guys. Believe me, it startled me more than it startled you. All right, so I'm going to go. I have a very small space here, and so I tend to stack things up on the little cabinet next to me, and that did not work out too well. All right, now I need this guy. This is going to go here, and I think I'm going to pop this one up too. No, I'm not. I'm going to just attach. So a little bit like that. And a little bit like this. I'm going to just be touching it barely. Okay. And then I'm going to tie a double bow. Let's see how that will look. Yes, that was for sure, Deb. The craftalanche for sure. Whew. Okay. I just feel bad because I know that was really loud. You know. What is a crafter to do though, right? All right, so I've got this nice loopy bow here. I like that. Up at the top, we can have it like so. And just adjusting my loops a little bit, and then I'm going to pull it tight again. There. And then I'm going to use a glue dot to attach. And let's see, is there a front and a back that I like better? No. Sometimes I use the glue dot to help the tails behave. So I'm going to press my glue dot down and then just make sure like my tails are going to be caught in it a little bit. There. I like that. And I could use a trinket as well. This I'm just going to tape down like so. And hold on 1 minute. Let me get one of those little trinkets. Because I think that will look really good up there. I can like make it look like it was tied on. Okay, yeah, let me lift up this glue dot. Oh. So I'm gonna like put the glue dot right over the hole so it looks like I tied it through it. And then I will add a glue dot on the back here. So I am going to pick up my glue dot and kind of roll it like a tamale and put it right behind where like a solid piece is. And I'm going to do one on the top too so that it's not going to go anywhere. There. I like that a lot. There. Doesn't that look fun? Okay, so now that part's done. This page is done. Let me just cut this little tail a little bit. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, where'd my third tail go? Oh, it's right there. It's hiding there, like so. All right, and then we've got this page. Let me take this one down. There. And by keeping my pages like together, I can see how well my things line up. All right, so let me just put away my things I'm not using so I don't have a mess there. All right, that's a scrap. And then this was, I just want to attach this. I think that looks really nice with it. And I'm going to use my glue, but I'm going to put my mat on just so if I get any overage, definitely don't want it on my page after I've worked so hard on it. And then this is going to be done. There. I like it. Okay, so this was just a, you know, like I said, I was making a card. I had an extra one, so I just tucked it away. And now I have the opportunity to use it. All right, let's find our pictures, and we're going to put them back in where they were going to go, which I don't remember exactly where I had them. So let's see. Okay, I think I had these 3 smaller ones at the bottom. I'm pretty sure I had. Well, that can be all right. Like so, and then I had okay, so if I do that and that and this, then I have a nice big room for this. And I also, oh, here's my journaling thing too. So if I have it like so, and I have that, it kind of covers up where I had seamed it. All right, what do you think? Pull that over just a smidge. I think I like it. Let's see here. I'm not crazy about my journaling being on that side though. So let me see. I don't remember how I had them a minute ago. I like the journaling on the right or the bottom. So, okay, so if I do that, and then I can have it like this. Move that back over. So a little bit more of the green stripe shows. Push these up a smidge. There. Move that over so they're not touching. What do you think? Oh, and I had my life jacket too. So my life jacket can go there. And I think I had a shell. Did I have only one shell? I could add some shells here, but for right now, let's just go with these, and I can add a couple of doodads if I need to. But I like the life jacket. I could put the life jacket over here and then add a trinket on this side with a loop-de-doop. Yeah, okay, that's what I'm going to do. So let me go ahead and let me close up my glue bottle again, and I'll start taping. I love this picture of me and my daughter Amy. Love it. She had such a good time here with us this year. She didn't normally get to come because she was always working at a summer camp. She's a school teacher, so in the summer she was working at a summer camp, and she decided to take the summer off, which was awesome for us. All right, I'm just putting my outside pieces on so that I know how much gap to leave for these guys. Oops. Alrighty, and like so. That's down. Let's see. We got Chris and Heidi, and this is our decking. So it's fun to show kind of the scenery that we get to see in our beautiful trip. Let me just put this guy down. I don't like having my pictures touch each other, but I know that's like a nice way to create the cluster. But I like to not have them touch. But I don't necessarily like having them line up too in columns, so which is why I'm kind of doing them at odd intervals. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this one up. Get my doodad out of the way. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put my life jacket there. That adds a little something. And then I'll have my little trinket there, and this one here I am going to also pop up, I think. Okay. I don't normally do a lot of popping up, but since I've got these trinkets, a little bit of extra space for the pop-up will be nice. I'm going to make a triangle with these here. Thought I cut one more. Oh yeah, I did right here. In that way the circle is supported. Because if you only did up and down, once it's in the books, it will go like that. So I like that. And let's see here. I love that. It reminds me of me or my girls, you know, at cocktail time. Oh, I might have to leave it there because Oops, yeah, I'm going to have to leave it there. Oh, well, it's all right. There. And then my little trinket, I'm going to just put on with a piece of twine. And this time I'm going to tie it through. Like so. We'll do a single bow on this one. And then I have my threes, my title, my cloth 3. I've got a triangle, and then this one will be my journaling box, my life jacket, and my person looking out over the deck. I mean, this is really what we kind of do. So, and my trinket there. So I am going to attach it here, but I wanna write my the verbiage before I attach it in case I mess up. Who's messing up, right? All right, here's my glue dot. I've got it. I can go ahead and put that like so, right on the back of that trinket, and then I'll put it there, which will hide my little seam. And put it there. Oh, that looks good. So there you have it. What do you think? I am really, really pleased. So I'll write my journaling, and here's my page. Oh, I love it. I think my family's really going to enjoy it too. Okay, so that's today's page, family time. This was P-Town 2026 from last week. And then this was my first page. So I may also cut some more of my shells to add to that last page. So my 2-page spread looks like that, and then like this. And I also wanted to add a little tiny bit of red on my lighthouse there. And then like that, because I think there's room for like some shells or something here. And, you know, here, some shell clusters. So I can cut some more of those shells, and maybe the netting, see, it will look like that, and tie in a little bit more from the other page. Or I might just leave it like this. I'll have to decide. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And next week, I will not be able to come because I have company, and we are going to be working on moving my folks to their new apartment. So next Sunday morning will be a kind of a moving day, packing up day for me. So, but I will post when I'll be back again. So thank you. Have a great Sunday. Bye, Deb.